Hi everyone, my name is Aparna and my pronouns are she, her.
Hello everyone, I'm Nishad and my pronouns are he, him.
Hey everyone, my name is Annie and my pronouns are she, her.
Together,
We're
Music Box. Today, we're here to introduce you all to a unique and interesting musical instrument.
What is it?
it's called the tabla. Have you folks ever heard of this instrument before?
I haven't. Do you know anything about it, Nishad?
Yes, I do. This is what it looks like. The tabla is a classical instrument from the country India that comes from the 17th century.
Oh my goodness, that is so old.
There are two drums, a smaller one, which has a higher pitch, and a bigger one, which has a lower pitch.
Wow, that's awesome. How are the different pitches produced?
Well, the skin of the tabla, which is also the top of the drum shown here, can be tightened with these wooden pegs. That would make the sound higher or lower. If the skin is loose, it makes a lower pitch, and when it is tightened, it makes a higher pitch.
Well, what's the skin actually made out of?
It's actually made out of a thin leather material on top, and the main structure is wooden on the smaller drum and metal on the larger drum.
That's so cool. You know what? This kind of reminds me of bongos, which are fun percussion instruments.
They sure are similar.
Other than the basic high and low pitches that the tabla produces, what other types of sounds can you make?
Well, there are notes that can be played on each of the individual drums, and there are also notes which can be played on both at the same time.
Wow, can you show us an example of notes that will be played on the smaller drum?
Sure. This is called beater, and this is called ta. Lastly, this is called dun.
Cool. And what about on the larger drum?
On the larger drum, this note is called ge, and this one is called gut.
Whoa, that was a lot to remember. I think we should play a quick trivia game to test our memory about what we have learned so far.
Sure. But first, let's recap the notes that we have already learned. On the small drum, we have ta, tite, and dun. On the larger drum, we have ge and gut.
Okay, so for this game, I'll say a note and everyone has to answer whether it is played on the bigger or the smaller drum. If you're watching from home, feel free to play the game along with us. Are you all ready?
I am.
Me too.
Here we go. The first note is ge.
I remember that was a really deep sound. Would it be on the larger drum?
Yes, that is correct. Here is the note. The next note is beater.
I remember two sounds being associated with this note. Is it on the smaller drum?
Yep. Here's how the note sounds. Aparna and Annie, you two are doing great. Let's make this last round a bonus round where I will say two notes instead of one. Where are ta and gut played?
That is challenging. I would say ta is played on the smaller drum and cut is played on the bigger drum.
Yep, that's correct. Great work, friends.
Well, this was an awesome lesson, Nishad. Thank you so much for teaching us about this instrument.
Today we learned where the tabla is from, what it is made out of, and the types of sounds it produces. We hope you enjoyed learning about all of this information with us.
See you next time. Bye.
Bye.
Before we say goodbye, we want to take a moment to recognize that we are all joining today from the traditional territories of many Indigenous nations across Canada. Indigenous people are the first people to have ever lived on the land. We respect the history, languages, and cultures of the First Nations, Métis, Inuit, and all Indigenous peoples of Canada, and are grateful to come together to play and learn on their lands.